Ugh. Hey everyone, Miss Mallory here, reporting to you from the middle of my living room, which is filled with a bunch of boxes. Because you guessed it, my family and I are in the middle of the process of moving to a new house. And yikes, is moving ever hard? Raise your hand if any of you have ever moved from one house to a new house. Thank goodness I've got this strong little lady here to help me move the heaviest of the boxes, right, Phoebe? But anyway, you're probably sitting there wondering what your lesson is going to be this week. I've taught you before that artists use things from their real life as inspiration in their artwork. So since I've been thinking about moving so much lately, it got me thinking about how artists use movement to create their own artwork. Do you know that this idea of creating artwork that moves is something that artists have been thinking about for a long time? Art that moves is called kinetic art. Kinetic art is art that depends on movement or motion for its effect. Let's look at some examples. Let's first consider this piece of art. It's called Dynamism of a Dog on a Leash. It was painted in 1912 by an Italian artist called Giacomo Balla. He was fascinated by the way animals moved, and so he attempted to paint a dog's feet in motion as it was walking. Can you tell what kind of dog this is? Compare that to this artist's work. This artist's name is Alexander Calder. Guess what? He's from our city of Philadelphia. He was fascinated with movement too. He designed huge sculptures that dangle from ceilings or perch on stands outside. They're shaped in a way that capture the wind, either of a person walking by or a breeze blowing through a park. This energy causes the metal shapes to start to shift and move. If the breeze is strong enough, the sculptures begin to look like they are dancing. Most of the artists I just mentioned made artwork from quite a long time ago, the early 1900s and the 1960s. Let's compare this work to some artists working today. Take this artist, Heather Hansen. She uses the movement of her whole body to create gorgeous, large-scale drawings. Her work is a great example of bilateral symmetry, which means art that is exactly the same on both the left and the right. Watch closely. She tries to make the same exact marks with her left hand that she makes with her right hand. Hansen uses charcoal, and as she moves, the tracks of where her body touches the paper are left behind. At the end, she's left with a humongous, smudgy, beautiful document of the motion her body made that day. And lastly, I want you to look at the artwork of Theo Jansen. He is a Dutch artist that makes these huge moving animals called strandbeests. Strandbeest is a Dutch word that means beach animals. What they are accumulations of stiff plastic tubes that he collects that people have thrown away. He puts them together and builds these huge machines that are animated by the wind on the beach. You can even walk away from these animals and they will move on their own whenever the wind blows. Isn't that kind of spooky and fascinating? Finally, take a look at the artwork of Joseph Herscher. He's a YouTube personality known for his channel called Joseph's Machines. Herscher is a kinetic artist who specializes in making comical chain reaction machines in the style of Rube Goldberg. He made his first machine, called the Lolly Machine, when he was only in kindergarten. What he does is he takes a task from his life and he figures out how to use machines and objects and chain reactions to make it super complicated. He's got a great sense of humor in his art, doesn't he? So now that we've explored a little bit of kinetic art, now it's your turn to make. For Kinetic Art Week, you will have your choice of drawing, sculpture, engineering, body, or art criticism projects. Choose one of the assignments to complete and either submit it to me as a JPEG or as a video. Remember, this project is due Friday, June 5th. So without further ado, Phoebe and I encourage you to get moving on this project. If you're saying to yourself, Miss Mallory, I just can't think of any ideas, I would encourage you, yes, you can. Kinetic. Get moving and shaking and get those ideas baking and have fun creating. See you next time.